I thought a little bit about this, for the past few days, and honestly, as simple as it may sound, it really is the truth. And that is that urgency is probably the main factor to success. Like, think about it, all or most people that are very successful, there was urgency. There was a specific reason why they needed to change their lives around, right? And whoever it may be, I can't think of anyone specifically, but let's say, you grew up poor for most of your life and you're sick and tired of it, maybe a specific situation happened where you didn't have money to buy something and that really made you realize like, wow, like I'm actually very poor, like I gotta do something about this. And then you just started to completely switch your life around. And the reason I'm thinking of this and why I'm honestly making this video is because right now is internship season. A lot of people in my school are applying for internships, co-ops, whatever it may be. And I thought about it, and I'm probably not going to apply to too many internships because this summer I'm going to be taking summer courses. So I won't really have the time to work anyway. And how my program is built, I have co-ops my next year instead of most other programs having it this summer, right? My summer is opened up for anything, and I decided to just get ahead instead. But most people are applying for internships and whatever. And I started applying for some internships, and it was kind of like a wake up call. Because, you know, less than a year from now, I'm going to be applying as well for internships, and I'm going to be in the same exact position as all of my colleagues, friends, classmates, right? And I don't know if my resume is that good, which makes me think of what I can do this year to really get ahead of others and stand out in front of the competition, right? Because I was seeing, these statistics, and just when people are scrolling through the apps and the navigators, and they had some of them had applied to 60 positions and they got no interviews. I saw some people, though, they had pretty good stats. This one girl, she applied to 14 positions and she had 4 interviews, which isn't that bad. But the point is, for most part, it was pretty bad. And I'm sure that most people didn't apply to everything that was out there, which, to be fair, you should probably have some standards. And applying to literally every single thing isn't, the most ideal. But even if you don't think about this and you just think about it, with anything else, like for example, a lot of the times, us students, we don't do anything, we procrastinate, and then there's 2 days until the exam, or there's 2 days, or no, not even 2 days, there's a day left for the assignment to be completed, and it's a long one. And that's when urgency hits, and that's when you just ignore everything else, you don't go on your phone at all, and you just focus solely on the task ahead of you, and you finish it. And then you feel so great. And sometimes, depending on what it is, it could take the whole day. You could have been studying for 8 hours straight, or maybe 5 hours straight, or, in the complete day, probably 12 hours. I've pulled off some insane things when I was urgent or when I had to do it, you know what I'm trying to say? And that's really comes down to urgency. And I don't think it's sustainable in the long term for most of us. But if you can find the right balance, it's too powerful. And I don't want to be the type of guy to say be a workaholic, you know, work your ass off for the next 3 years, and after that your life's gonna be easier. Because maybe that's the case, maybe it's not the case. But I don't think I can say that because I haven't done that myself. So I'll be a hypocrite to advise you to try to do something that's potentially not going to lead you to anywhere. Although it's very hard to, work your ass off for 3 hours straight and not, gain a lot out of the situation or a lot of results, right? No matter what it might be, let's say you're in high school, you just start high school, and you decided that for the next 4 years, you're just gonna solely focus on school, extracurriculars. Like, I'm sure you're gonna have pretty good outcomes from that, and you're gonna do really well, or significantly better than if you didn't, focus on it that much and just live your life regularly. Like, you're probably gonna get significantly higher grades, a lot of job opportunities, but that's not what life is all about. But I'm kind of just rambling on, but what I'm trying to say is, no matter what it may be, we all have dreams and aspirations, and we all want to accomplish certain things, but we're lazy, or maybe we're not motivated enough. But if there's an urgency to your passion, dream, or aspiration, you're likely going to achieve it, and that is success. If I had to define success, I would define success as being something that you strive towards and you feel accomplished from. Something like that. I don't think that's a good definition, but something along those lines. So I'm gonna try to my bad. I'm gonna try to conclude the video here. I've kind of been rambling all over the place, but I just want to talk about this a little bit. But yeah, I really do believe that, I don't know how you could do it mentally. Maybe I'll make a video on that later on and try to research. But if you're able to truly have urgency on whatever it may be, you're gonna be ahead of like 99% of people. Because most people say, oh, I wanna have a six-pack, I wanna get a girlfriend, I wanna get a good job, but they're not urgent about it, they're not serious about it. They wanna accomplish these things, but it doesn't really matter to them until it's too late. And having urgency the last minute isn't that good, because it's too late at that point. You have to be urgent early on, and you have to be able to maintain that throughout. And the thing that's so powerful about urgency, especially in serious situations, like as I mentioned, with exams and stuff, in those situations, the urgency is so strong that you literally don't do anything else. You couldn't care less about eating. Like, I've worked my ass off sometimes because I had to. And I would finish at like 12 a.m. I only ate lunch, I didn't eat dinner. And those feelings were fucking incredible. I'm sorry for swearing, but they were truly incredible. But I would never do that every single day. But if I did, I'm sure I could accomplish a lot more things in my life. But the point is, you have to be a maniac. But also, I forget what I was gonna say, but I hope that makes sense. I'm gonna wrap it up here before this video gets too long and I become too repetitive. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.